Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from everywhere you are watching from. Uh, Today we'll be treating shear connection and moment connection. And the part we'll be discussing is the end plate moment connection, flush type, because most of our engineers they can't even differentiate between a moment connection and a shear connection. But today we'll be discussing it using Tekla Structures as our tool to illustrate how we can make our connections. Okay, let's go right into it now. Now, if you look at the Tekla Structures software, you can see that I did some connections here, but we will not be treating them. We will not be taking them just like this. We will just have to delete them so that we can start afresh. So now look at, before we go into connections, we have to know how to place our members. If you look at this one, we know that these members are horizontal members. They may be of the same material, but this is, and also this is a vertical member. How do we connect them together? So that is what we'll be discussing today. Because you know that when it comes to steel members, we'll be talking about the load transfer. How can the load be transferred from the beam? Maybe we have a mezzanine here, and there is a composite slab. We know that load must be transferred from here down to the vertical members. So, and how do we facilitate the connection between this horizontal member and the vertical member? So that's where we now have to look at either the shear connection or the moment connection. And we have different types of moment connection, but we'll be talking about this end plate moment connection, the flush type today. And also we'll be discussing the shear connection also. But before then, before we make our connection, we have to look at some let me say intricacies of connection. Now let's go to grid 1 and see what we can do in this elevation. Come to your windows, come to grid 1. Now this is our grid 1. If you look at it carefully, whenever we want to make connection between a vertical and a horizontal member, we have to look at what we call the neutral axis of these members, the neutral axis. This neutral axis must rally to a point. If you look at it, this is the neutral axis. In Tekla Structures, other softwares has a way to bring it out, but in Tekla Structures, it's a simple way to bring out your neutral axis. You can easily click on it, click on the member, right click, and take maybe inquire center of gravity. When you click on inquire center of gravity, it gives you your neutral axis point. This is your neutral axis point, so you can take a line towards that. But I will be treating how we can do that. But first of all, I'll be treating now in our subsequent classes. But first of all, I want us to understand that before we make our connection, we must understand that there must be a connection between your horizontal member and your vertical member using the neutral axis as a reference point. Just as how you can see it now. This neutral axis must converge at a point, just as it is shown here. All right. So now we can now go, because we've seen that we have really our neutral axes are intersecting. So now have to go to create our end plate moment connection, the flush type. Now, how do we go about it? We go to applications and component. Initially, you have to click type end. You can just put end or E. But if you have the numbers in your head, you can put maybe 29. Click on it. Click on the vertical members and the horizontal member. Now, this is what we have got. So we can now look at it at the 3D. We can look at it at the 3D. You look at it, you see that we have a flush connection, flush type connection. The reason why it is flush is because it has the same alignment with the horizontal member. That's why it is called flush. You look at it properly. That's why it is called flush. It is called the end plate moment connection flush type. This is how we can get it. We can get it through applications and component. You can type end plate or 29. Get there. Then you click on it. Then we have our end plate. Now let's look at another part of a connection. Let's look at another part of connection. Another type of connection, I mean, the shear connection. So we have to understand the difference between a moment connection and the shear connection. So if we are going for the shear connection, it is imperative also we look at the neutral line if they are intersecting to see to be very sure, so that we don't have a very wrong connection. Okay, let's go. Now, if for us to go into that, we have to look at go to application and component, type 80, then click on vertical member and horizontal member. Now we have gotten what we are looking for. Go to 3D so we can see it properly. This is the shear connection, and we'll be discussing neutral axis more when we'll be talking about our trusses. So in our next video will be our trusses. Thank you very much. I urge you to view our videos and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. Please, whatever you have any question, any concerns, please treat it in our comment section. Thank you very much. Thank you.